Hi guys, hope you're doing good. In this video, we are going to learn about few important things in Python, that is lambda, map, filter and reduce. Let us see first lambda. Lambda is one of the most important and useful tool in Python because it allows you to create an anonymous function, which means that a function without any name. And unlike function, lambda cannot have more than one line of code, right? Lambda can take only one statement in it and it cannot be reused, right? Wherein your functions can be reused and if can have more than one statement and we can call it whenever it is required. But lambda is not like that, and we cannot substitute or we cannot use lambda as a substitute for all the functions. Lambda can be used as a substitute for a single line function. It means a function which has only one statement in it, right? Let us see with some examples. Let me say I'm going to do a square of some value. Let me say return num power 2, and let me call the function here square of 5. Since I'm returning, I should use it inside a print statement because I'm returning a value from there. Let me run this code for you. Yeah, I'm getting 25, right? So since this function has only one statement, I can use lambda to replace it. Now let us see how to replace this. I'll say lambda, and lambda next to the keyword lambda we give something that is your argument. So what is the argument here? The parameter is num. So let me say num here, and next to colon I'll be giving the statement that is inside the function. Now by default my lambda function returns the value, so I have to store it somewhere. Let me say square. Since lambda is a function which is an anonymous function which doesn't have any name, I'll be calling the lambda function with the help of the variable which is getting which stores the returned value of it, right? So when I say square of 5, this lambda function will be called and 5 will be passed to num, and I square it and return it here to the variable called as square. Now when I run this code, you will be getting 25, the same thing without any problem, right? So you may ask some question. A lambda can take only one expression, can have only one statement. Can it take more than one argument? Yes, a lambda can take more than one argument. For example, if I want to find the power of values, right? For example, if it is 5 power 3. Now what I am doing here is, let me change it to power. And when I say 5 power 3, I am passing two arguments here, 5 and 3. So I should have two parameters to catch it. So let me say m comma n, and here I say m power n. Sorry, n power m. Now when I run this code, I'll be getting 125 because 5 cube is 125. Now wherever you feel that your function is going to have only one statement, better go for lambda. Don't ever think about using a function and waste your time. Better go for lambda, right? Now let us see, as I said, like we'll be seeing map, filter and reduce. Let us see map first and then other things later. Map. Now what is map? Now map function allows you to map a function itself to an iterable object. Now for example, I have a function and I have an iterable object, and I can map these together and then do some work in that. For example, if I want to find the square of all the values in the list, let me have a list called as my list, and let me have some values here like 1 2 3 4 and 5. And if I want to square these values, let me write a function, say square of num, right? So when I say square of num, it can take a value here and then I square it. I'll say return num power 2. But here the problem is this function can process or find the square of only one value, but it cannot find the square of list of values. When I say list power 2, it doesn't do the square of all the values in the list. then what should I do? I may need to call this function iterably inside a function, inside a loop, right? How will I do it? For I in my list, and then say I'll call the function square, and then I pass I, right? And then I may need to store it inside a new list that is called as sqrlst, and I need to create an empty list, and then here I say sqrlst dot append, and then call the function. This is like looks like a normal method which is going too tedious, right? Too bigger process. Every time I iterably take one value and pass it to the function. So all these things, whatever this for loop and this append function does, right? So that can be replaced with the help of map, right? Let me print this so that you can see what's happening there. Square list. Let me run this code for you. So you're getting 1, 4, 9, 16 and 25. But if I want to reduce these lines of code, I can remove this, and then I can make it very simple with the help of map. Now, as I said already, map function takes two arguments. One is the function name, that is the function itself. I'm going to pass the function as an argument. Another one will be the iterable object, that is my list, which I'm going to pass it from here. Now what happens in map? What this map does, whatever this for loop is doing, right, the same thing this map will do. But here what it does is that it calls the function iterably for every item of this object, squares the value and stores it in the map object itself, Now when I print it, it will print the map object and not the square value. So I can either typecast it to list or any other object type and then print it. Now let me run this code, and you get 1, 4, 9, 16 and 25, the same squared value, right? Now instead of typecasting it here, I can also typecast it while assigning it to the square list object, right? So let me run this code, still I get the same output. Got it? Yes. Now let us see the next example for finding the even numbers from the list, right? So if I want to find the even number from the list, I may need to check for a condition, that is num mod 2 equal to 0. If num mod 2 equal to 0, then what should I say? Return num. So the value which is returned will be stored in the object, right? Map object. Let me take this out, it's not required for me now. Okay, let me change the name to EVE list, just for naming conventions, that's all. So the function name is even. Let me also change it. Clear this code. Now what is that we expect? The output should be 2 and 4. Now let me run this code and show you, see what's happening. Missed a colon there, nothing, just a syntax problem. So you're getting 2 and 4, along with that we are getting 3 nuns. Why is that happening? So every time the map function is calling the even function and passing the iterable object's value every time, first 1 will be passed to even function and 1 mod 2 equal to 0. When it is 0, I am not saying return none, but I am not saying return num, rather it will return none from the function, because I don't have anything to return here, so it returns none. So none will be stored in the map object. Second time, when what is your value 2 goes there, 2 mod 2 equal to 0, condition true, it returns 2 and 2 will be stored inside the list. So every time an even value is getting encountered, the value will get returned. Whenever there's an odd value, it returns none. So this is how you get in map. We cannot avoid this. Okay, if at all it happens, that this is how it's going to happen. Now let us see the same program with the help of filter, right? If I'm going to use filter, how it's going to help me, that is what I'm going to see now. Let me replace this with filter. But filter unlike your map, it doesn't takes value, it takes either true or false. So I can either say true or false only, I cannot do anything else. So filter, as the name suggests, it filters out, right? It filters out only the true values. It filters out only the true values. Now whenever I say return true, it will check what is the current value that is getting passed from here, right? So when 1 is passed from here, 1 mod 2 condition false here, it will not say return true, it will say return none, ignores it. Next time it returns, it passes, right, from the filter, right? It will call the function and it will pass 2 mod 2 equal to 0 condition true. So when my condition is true, I say return true. When return true comes here, for which value I am returning true? 2 will be stored in the filter object. Second time I pass 3 mod 2 equal to 0 condition false. So when my condition is false, it will return none. So none will be obviously ignored. Next time it will pass 4. When 4 is passed, 4 mod 2 equal to 0, I say return true. When true comes here, it will check for which value I am getting true. What I passed from here? 4. So when 4 is passed, I am getting true. So 4 will be stored in the list. Let me execute this code so that you can understand what's happening. So you get only 2 and 4. Got it? So whenever a true value is passed, only that value will be, only true value is written, only that value will be stored inside the filter object. Now this 2 lines of code can be further reduced, right? When there is 2 lines of code, you cannot use lambda, right? So let me reduce it to single line of code. How will I reduce it to single line of code, right? Let me take this out. I'll say return. Now when I say return n mod 2 equal to 0, it means that the condition always returns either true or false. So whenever true is returned, it's going to store that particular value, right? Oops, sorry. So you're getting 2 and 4. It is not that I have to pass only list. So let me try passing a range of value. Let me say range and then say 10. Let me say 11, so that let it include 11 also. So when I say range 11, you will be getting 0, 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10. You getting it, right? So I'll repeat again for your understanding. So either it takes a iterable object or a range. So let me change it again for the old example, and I'll explain it again to you. Whenever the filter function is called, filter function takes 2 arguments. One is function, another one is the iterable object. So when the function is called, the iterable object will the first value of the iterable object will be passed to the function here. So what will be passed? 1 will be passed. 1 mod 2 equal to 0 condition false. When the condition is false, I'll be returning false. So when false is returned, that will be ignored, right? Second time, when the function is called and the second value will be passed, that is 2 mod 2 equal to 0 condition true, so it's a return true. So when filter encounters true, immediately it will check what value I have passed. So what value is passed? 2 will be stored in the filter object, right? Second time, or the third time, the even function will be called and 3 will be passed there. 3 mod 2 equal to 0 condition false will be returned here to this function call. Filter ignores false. Filter will check only for true values, right? Hope you understood this. Let me give a different example for you. Now let me change it to filter because I didn't change it, I forgot. Okay, so in this example we are going to see how to find some prime numbers between a particular range, right? So I want to find the prime numbers from 2 to 20, right? So what I'm doing, I'm using a method called as isPrime here, which checks whether the given number is getting divided by any other number, because if a number is divided by any other number, that is not a prime number at all, right? Because a prime number is a number which is getting divided by 1 and itself, right? So ignoring those things, if at all a number is getting divided by any other number, then that is not a prime number. So that is what I am doing here, right? I am setting a range for it. So when a number is getting divided by any other number, then I say return false. If at all a number is not divided by any other number, then I am returning true. Now here you can see, if a number is getting right, what when I get true, for which value I'm getting true, that value alone will get stored inside the filter object. So let me run this code for you. It's not working. Okay, it's here, right? So when I run this code, you're getting 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17 and 19. So these are the prime numbers between this range. Got it? Yes, hope you understood this. Don't worry, I'll just give this, if at all you want this program, so I'll be giving the GitHub link in my description. You can go and get these programs there, right? Okay, let us see reduce now. Reduce function is defined in the func tool modules, right? It is not like your normal methods what we use in map or filter. It is not used normally. It is there inside the func tool modules, right? So but like your map and filter functions, your reduce function also takes two arguments. One is the function, other one is the iterable object. But however, it doesn't return the iterable object. Instead it takes only single value as return value, right? So let us see with an example. Let me say I take a function called as mult and then say n comma m, and then I'll say return n into m. Now when I say I want to find a factorial of a number, for example 5 factorial, how will I do it? I'll be doing a repeated multiplication, not once, right? It will be a repeated multiplication. Now I'm also going to do the same process. I'm going to do a repeated multiplication process. Now when I say 5, it is 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. Now how it works? First it will be 5 into 4, that is 20. This 20 will be taken as value again, which will be multiplied with 3, right? This will be a repeated multiplication, right? So I do first 5 and 4, I'll be getting 20 will be multiplied with 3, and I'll be getting 60 again will get multiplied with 2, I'll be getting 120. Now 120 will be multiplied with 1. This is how the multiplication does. It is not one single time of multiplying two values, but here I've given only two values to be get multiplied, but I'm going to do the process repeatedly with the help of reduce method, right? So how will I do it? Let me say fact assign functools dot reduce. Now every method that is present inside any module need to be accessed only like this. I'll say functools dot the method which is present inside my functools, right? That is how I do it. If at all you are not aware of what is a module and how to use modules, you can go and watch my video which I have given about modules, which I have given in the description, right? So let me say range of 1 comma 6. It means that I'm going to find the factorial of 5. Let me say print fact. Let me clear this first. Pull it down. Okay. Now here this reduce function will call the function mul, and it'll pass two arguments, that is 1 and 2. 1 and 2 will be passed because I have a range from 1 to 6. Now first it will pass 1 and 2. 1 and 2 will be multiplied. If you feel that 1 is not required at all, you can start from 2 also, because anyway multiplying with 1 it's of no use, right? You're going to get the same value as well, right? Multiplying with 1 it's going to give the same answer. So let me start with 2. So it will be 2 and 3 will be passed, multiplied. 2 and 3 will be multiplied, first iteration, like that is 2 into 3, that will give you 6. Now 6 will be first argument, and then next argument will be passed 6 into 4, that is 24. Now next time 24 will be the first argument and it will multiply it with 5, right? So now 24 into 5 will give you 120. The final value 120 will be returned, right? 120 will be returned back to fact and will be printed. So every time I do here, first time it will return 6 back here, right? Correct? 6 will come here, 2 3s are 6, 6 will come here. So I'll be calling the function mul and I'll pass 6 and 4 here, do the multiplication, 24 will be returned here, and from here I'll pass 24 and 5, 120 will be returned here, then the range is getting over, 120 will be stored in fact and I'm printing it. Let me run this code for you. So you will get 125. The factorial of 5 is 125. The reduce function, every time it takes only one value and then that value will be passed again back, but wherein in map and filter, whatever value is returned will be stored in a list of value, right? So this is the difference between reduce, filter and map, right? So map or filter will take the value, store it in a list of value in map or filter object, but wherein reduce will never store the list of objects. It will only take the value and then pass it again back to the function, do the process, final value will be returned back to the variable. That's it for this video, guys. If you have any doubts or queries, please comment in the comment section, and if you want anything else to be added, you can very well let me know in the comment section. I'll definitely do video on that. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching this video, guys.